You've collected quite a number of clues. You have a few leads, and it's up to you where to take those leads.
Hmm.
Did
To
we decide
refresh
that?
your memory, you have found oil. You found various notes detailing the research. You found a few leads leading towards Vidar, a vampire socialite, the arch cleanser Haribald of the cleansers, and a colleague of Easterville's by the name of Luncaster. There's a few options available to you. One, for example, dipping further into one of the clues you found, visiting the local archaeology office, or perhaps visiting the very close and nearby hall of the Order of the Lycan. Other than that, you know where to find the Archcancer Heribald.
Hmm.
And so far, Vidar is out of reach, a week away from holding his masquerade ball.
Um.
Unless you wanted to just wait for a week, but I mean,
Hmm.
totally could, in theory, but, you know.
And to be clear, Looncaster we believe to be undercover at the Kohlers Guild. Is
Exactly.
that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you guys mentioned you might have had an altercation.
With the Kohlers Guild that invited us to do things for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, we have a few avenues before us. So, anyone have any thoughts on which way they'd like to go?
Probably talk to the order people first before we interrogate any suspect. Get as much clues as we can.
That sounds as reasonable as anything. I don't know what these him in these letters refers to.
Hmm.
Perhaps they could shed more light on that.
Mm-hmm.
Should we show them the letters?
I don't know if you'd want to do that.
No,
I'll
I
leave that
wasn't.
up to you, Catherine, but it seems rather, a bit taboo. Probably wouldn't be appreciated.
Yeah, I was thinking not to show them right away, at least.
But I meant to see if there was some relationship that Istaville had with someone that was significant to her.
Yeah,
Not
just
sure,
learn
not
more
showing.
about her personal life.
Right.
Well, would I know any of that information back
No.
Didn't they
Suppose.
give you an offer?
Just mention they asked, we just found nothing in the manor, I suppose, for the
We're
moment.
doing a thorough investigation. Part of that would be looking into the people who are close to her. People who would either potentially have a grudge or know some sort of insight on her. So you could be going into it from that angle.
Well, I
It's-
shouldn't try to talk when I'm eating a bagel.
You found a bagel? Did Grease give that to you? Oh.
I found it in the kitchen.
I wouldn't eat anything that's in the murder room where you're standing right now.
What's wrong with the murder room?
There's all kinds of experimental stuff. Who knows which kind of lycanthropy viruses are floating around there?
Well, I do know Luncaster and Istavil had their, personal reasons to not like each other.
Right.
What do you want to do about the secret room? It's going to be difficult to hide.
Yeah, it
we'll
did
try
kind
and
of
find.
splash that.
Do we have a reason to
should
hide
not
it,
have-
though?
I mean,
Very good, Bum.
hello, creeps. Where's what was her name? Celine? Selena?
Luna.
Where is she? What's her name? There's she.
Looking at me now.
Slim. Where? What's her name again, Beggar?
Mistress Salona.
Wow, you remember.
No, I have opened the file. we.
Oh, I don't see it anywhere. Oh, I didn't scroll down enough. Alright, I'm gonna ask her a question. Where am I?
Greaves, did you know about the secret room?
Secret room, sir.
Yes, secret room.
No, sir.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, surely someone must have built it.
I would assume so, sir.
Oh my god. I need to walk away.
I turn to Kara and say, seems like no one has dusted off the paintings in an orderly manner, because otherwise someone would have found the room, right?
We keep the paintings clean, sir.
And my father.
I
Do
just ignore him.
know-
They are quite valuable, sir.
So I heard we need to be headed out to somewhere.
Okay, it's time to go.
By the by, sir, where did you find such a room?
I mean, if you don't know anything about a secret room, I don't either.
Do you have that many paintings?
Curious, it sounded like you had found one.
Oh no.
What is this room, by the by? By the by.
This was Salonas and I forgot his
Vilfort.
name. Yes, Vilfort's quarter.
Is it
Beggar,
open?
is this just water over here? Like in this fountain?
First area is open, but you can see that there are doors.
Oh, that reminds me. I actually wanted to ask, what was that?
In
Oh,
the
wait,
murder
no.
room?
You go investigate it.
Oh man, I want to remember if there were other
Before I,
fountains for the-
what?
I mean,
Who
it's a
investigates?
brazier.
Oh,
Brazier.
okay. I thought it was like a chandelier.
I'm just gonna wash my hands off with the soap I have in this water.
Okay.
It's not water, it's chloric acid.
Well, you know, that's a way of getting clean too.
It's a little bit cold, the water, but that's the trick.
Then I will go catch up to the others.
I suppose we could go ask the order if she had any, I don't know, problems going on with others.
Or any close friends that could give us insights.
Yeah. Maybe the last person that saw her. Alright, guess I'll lead the way to the order.
Which one of you asked for potions before?
I think I talked to him about potions if he had some leftovers.
As you all head towards the exit, as soon as he sees Soleil, Belfort sort of just raises his hand.
Yes.
Well, you were asking about help earlier, and well, it is still a prototype, but I think it works somewhat. And he sort of very awkwardly holds a bottle in front of him. I don't really have a name for it yet. I just call it Augmenter.
I take the flask. And what does it do?
Well, it's designed to strengthen in a more broad sense, sort of not focused on any one strength, but sort of just enhancing as a whole. Like I said, we're in the beginning stages of its development.
So what are the side effects?
Well, not as far as I can tell, but it's not like we've had trials yet.
Has anyone ever tried one of these?
Oh yeah, I have. I mean, you kind of have to as you're brewing the potions.
Mm-hmm.
Not noticed anything.
Anything
But
bad, at least,
obviously
right?
That is a test group of one.
So you mean you didn't feel anything bad? Because if you didn't feel anything at all, then the potion would do nothing, right?
Well, no side effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I will let you know if anything weird happens. For your further experiments.
You're also gonna let him know how that potion of haste works, huh?
Stolen potion. The Hall of the Order is close to the manor. It's a short, quite comfortable walk through the streets. A street open to the sun and stars. The Hall of the Order is just at the edge of the sunlit ring. And as the sun is still not at high noon, the Hall of the Order is still largely unlit. The hall has a yard surrounding it. Somewhat of a rarity these days. In Polythreme, every bit of open area is becoming something these days. You pass through the gate, and immediately you are met with bellowing laughter from somewhere within.
No. Enter.
Okay.
Cabbages.
Cabbages. Just
Stay
just
available.
pointing out the
So,
cabbages.
Here's the turnip. This is where we get our turnip.
Yeah, maybe.
Turnip come. this gate like locked or anything?
No, the gate is open.
Okay.
In front of you is a relatively short building by comparison to many others. Polythreme is very much a town where people build tall. There is light and laughter coming from the hall beyond the gate right in front of you. To the left, you know this, Catherine, is a small area of the gardens, an entrance to the kitchen. To the right, some stables. And a small artificial brook.
Babbling brook. Do I know who in particular I would talk to find out Mr. Ville's most recent whereabouts and stuff?
Well, you've heard that Taron, the head of the order, has returned. Because of the, matter at hand, many of the higher rankings of the order have returned somewhere to Polythreme. Though you're not quite sure how many of them are at the order.
Okay. Well, I'll open it up and enter.
The gate, as you open it, is already slightly ajar. And as you approach the gate, you hear a gruff, loud voice talking in a low tone. Every now and then, that voice echoes out in laughter. As soon as the gate swings open, however, as soon as you step inside, the three men's heads swivel towards you, and the laughter subsides. One of them was already seemingly stone-faced when you walked in, mustering only the mug of ale he held in his left hand. All of them are tall, look trained, and are well armored. The one at the back you know to be Taron, the head of your order. The one to the right, Hafar, a mid-ranking officer, taking contracts on his own. And the one closest to you is Rond. You notice that he's missing an arm. The rest of you, I mean. The sleeve ending halfway in a simple knot. And those of you that are familiar with Polythreme can give me a history check.
We're
That
familiar with
included?
Polythreme.
Catherine excluded.
Okay.
Because I don't think I fit in there.
19.
4.
You would definitely know this, Evelyn. Missing an arm is not exactly a rarity in these times. But it's still somewhat out of place in the medial district. Much less belonging to a member of a guild that obviously has quite a bit of money. The healing and restoration magics are highly expensive services. They are often reserved for, the Marble Upper District, larger organizations. But especially an organization like this, which holds a seat on the council, should have access to those methods. Catherine, you know Rond personally. You've seen him around. He's the older brother of Taron. And while he doesn't exactly have a high rank in the order, officially, both being the brother of the head of the order and being one of its most battle-hardened senior members, his advice is usually highly respected among your peers. The loss of his arm occurred before you were taken in, and he's never revealed any details. Nor has he ever talked about it, mostly avoiding all conversation regarding that matter.
Mm.
The other two were the ones talking and laughing, and their wide, gruff smiles settle into a similar stony outlook as they recognize you, as if they suddenly remembered the grim circumstances that brought them here in the first place. One of the two stands up. At full height, he's taller than the average warrior. And adding to his frame are the heavy pauldrons of Terran's armor. Well, business first then. We'll talk more later, Huffer. And then he nods towards you, Catherine. Huffer is the smallest of the three, which is at 6 feet still quite a statement. He gives you a small, sympathetic smile before he stretches and leaves the hall through one of its side doors.
Can you type their names?
I will. I'm on there.
Duh.
Yep.
Hello!
Ah!
Hello.
Hello!
That-
Everyone is dead. We're playing new characters.
Yeah.
Hello.
Been a rough day.
Yep. A building
Okay.
fell on us.
The cleric's back. Revivify for everyone.
Yay!
Terran
What a
takes a short glance at his brother still sitting at the table. And even though he knows he's not going to be heard, he sideline sort of just says, "You can leave too, brother, if this business is too grim for you. Over here, Catherine, by the stage." Terran beckons you over to the end of the hall, where halfway up the stairs of the stage, he stops, turns around, and lets himself fall onto his rear. He gestures to the many stools and chairs at the table, likely motioning you to sit.
Interrogate table.
Well, you can
Yep.
probably... These are all stools. You can take them and just place them where you wish.
Okay, I'll just drag one over.
Freya,
Sorry.
the mic is rubbing on something.
Oh my god! Huh.
Which-
So, you find out who did it? What'd you find?
Not yet. We have mainly just more confirmation on the things that it could be. There was spill residue on the window. There was cleanser oil. And there was... I don't know what to refer to them as. It's
Hmm.
like it was like a pig, but it was like a were pig.
Her research you're talking about then.
Yes.
I know little of it, but I know she's been working on the origins of lycanthropy.
So these are the people from.
You said you
Continent.
found cleanser oil.
Yes.
Remains of it, yeah.
It was
Mr.
on a-
Will has always been great at finding enemies in high places. Heribald is a vile man. Power, fanaticism, gluttony make for a terrible combination in a man. I've no doubt in my mind that he has the capacity to commit or at least order a crime like this.
What I found out about it was there was nothing that was burned.
So perhaps he was interrupted.
Perhaps. I'm also here to ask if you know any of what her recent whereabouts were, or like conflict she got into recently, that sort of thing.
Did she express any concerns about anything?
Concerns? No. She's been secretive, but she has been for a few years. She's been locked up, mostly cooped up in that mansion of theirs, doing her research. I know from Greece she's been leaving every now and then. She did complain once about cleansers possibly following her, but it seems to have been an isolated incident. Or at least she never mentioned it after.
How long ago was that?
The incident with the cleansers, a few months.
What are the guild's general relations with Vidar? It was mentioned that he had a argument with her not that long ago.
As you mentioned, Vidar, his eyebrows frown and he sets on a little bit more of a grim expression. Vidar. Thorn in our side since coming to Polythreme. You would think one as afflicted as he would have been more welcoming. But we've been fighting him at every turn. Wouldn't surprise me for him to stoop so low. He's never had standards. Or perhaps they've just gone over the many years.
Yes, it seems there are many enemies that she may have made. What about friends, allies? Aside from yourself, did she have any other close friends?
He sort of opens his arms, just gesturing towards the hall in general and Catherine in particular. All of her friends are here at the Order.
When you visited her, did she mention that Vidar had visited her as well?
No, but I had heard about it. It's not unusual. Vidar is seen everywhere in Polythreme, a lot of times. He is a socialite. Though his visits to us are rare, and more than not result in arguments on certain matters.
Are you aware of any other places that she might have any sort of land or residence, or any place that she tended to visit often?
No, not that I would know of.
Well, you've said that, of course, all her friends are here in the guild, but seems that Luncaster and her did not always see eye to eye. Did you ever have to intervene in that situation, or know more about why they disagree?
His eyes narrow a little as you mentioned, Luncaster, and his expression remains grim. I won't hear about Luncaster. Whatever Luncaster and Isterville had, there is no future I can imagine where she would do such a thing. Nor one where I will imagine walking a path of persecution against one of our own. I'll hear no more about Luncaster.
Of course.
Do you know?
So your justice is only interested if it's outside of your order.
Now he looks angry.
But it's exactly what
No.
Soleil's thought to say.
But our order is carefully selected, and each one of us is a member of a family. We've all had our fair share of persecution. And I will not flip on the other side of that table.
Do you know if she had any other land property in the city other than the manor?
No.
Do you know anyone who might know about that?
If someone would know, it would be me. I hold the guild's treasury and its assets. At least I manage them.
So does your order have like a treasury for everyone and no one has their personal resources, or how does it work?
People earn their personal resources, as is usual in a guild. The treasury is for equipment, maintenance, and the like, or greater undertakings, such as Easter's research project or community measures. But yes, everyone has their own resources
Okay.
as they earn them.
But in none of your visits, she never mentioned what type of research she was doing.
Well, I'm not a researcher myself. I know it was to find the origin of the curse that afflicts us all. A more academic goal for sure than a practical, but the two go hand in hand. Her insights into our curse may lead to us further understanding.
And she's been doing this research for several years now.
Yes.
Has she made any sort of advances that have assisted your order?
Well, none that have proven any practical use yet. But I believe she was closing in on something.
Did she take this research on at your request, or was it some personal motivation you think that...
Well, I made her part of the research department originally out of a personal request. But her passion became her own very quickly. It is her own research she is pursuing.
I'm really thinking about asking a question that might bring us trouble.
You could always whisper it to Evelyn and she'll ask anything.
I mean, I wouldn't have problems asking the question. I would have problems with the outcome, maybe. I'm thinking about... Yeah. Taryn, can you tell us more about what happened in the tower?
You see his expression go blank. You notice his eyes sort of slightly changing color to a more yellowish tone.
Oh god. What have I done?
The round irises grow to slits, and you hear him growl in a low voice. That is forbidden knowledge. I care not where you've heard about it in Easterville studies. But I'll tell you the same thing I told her. It is not to be pursued. There is a reason for its closure within the archives. It happened
know.
many years ago.
Knowledge is always considered something that's powerful, though. Wouldn't you want to pursue every avenue?
There is no way it has anything to do with what we're dealing today. Whatever happened, happened, and whatever sins our order bears is their burden to bear, and it will be borne in silence.
By the way, as he
For an order
like
that
turned,
is considered as a family, you seem to keep a lot of secrets from each other.
A family is to be protected, if needs be, from itself.
Sometimes, no matter how much you try, you can't always protect family.
Clearly.
yeah, by the way, as Terran like had this like little bit of dog moment, you can see Soleil. Soleil also has his fur on straight on.
Dog
And looks,
moment.
yeah, he looks like he's in a very defensive position right now, just on the edge of jumping back, basically.
Is there anything else?
I think that's it for now.
Good. I too have things to tend to.
He looks.
And one more question, if you don't
Okay.
mind. When you visited Istaville, what were you visiting for?
A regular checkup, and her issues with Luncaster.
Without another word, he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
His jimmy's thoroughly rustled, as you can clearly tell.
Do I know where the archive is?
You know that it is not here in the Hall of the Order. It's a larger building. You've personally not been to it, but you've heard people talk about it.
Hmm.
Grant
how-
is still in the room. Is that accurate?
Yes.
What
so
does
you
his face
imagine-
look like? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ront is still stone-faced, sitting in the exact same position as before. But as you study him, he finally reaches towards his mug, and in one fell swoop he empties it, and he stands up. Ront is slightly taller than his brother, but something about his calm attitude makes him seem a little bit friendlier, despite the missing limb.
We didn't mean to offend him. If you talk to him later on, just trying to get a picture of how best to help.
Rond looks at you in his always calm manner, and from the table he lifts his tall sword. He nods towards the entrance, and then he looks at Catherine and simply says,
Come.
Hmm. Okay.
he exits through the gates and swings left. There, standing on the tiny bridge that arcs over the artificial brook, he stands waiting.
You know, I was Easterville's mentor, Catherine. When she first came to the Order.
How was she?
Impetuous. I want to
Neither.
see what she taught you.
Mm.
Just you and me. A small duel.
Hmm.
Rond moves into a stance, slightly hunching, holding his sword arm elevated, his sword resting on his shoulder. You've seen him spar before. For his size, disability, and weight, he's incredibly fast.
Hmm. Okay. Ugh. Is he like gesturing for me to get on the little bridge with him, or just like go at him?
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to get on the bridge, and the way he stands sort of already at the front of the bridge, it doesn't seem like it.
Okay. I'll draw my blade.
Give me a roll initiative.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
I sit down and look really excited to see this.
Ah! Pog, dude. Hell yeah. That is a 9. I should probably write it down. Hmm.
What'd you roll?
9. I wrote it down.
He, with a sort of almost leap, crouches and just barrels towards you. And as he does so, his sword swings off of his shoulder and just swings square at you. That's an 8.
No!
You step backwards as his sword hits the ground, a large chunk of earth getting loose and just sort of flying to the side against the stone wall as his sword slices through the ground, not stopping, and is still elevated on the other side in the air, and it is your turn.
Bonus action. I will activate my Crimson Rat. So I take a d6 of damage. Where's my thing? Yes. So I take 1 damage. Haha. Let me write that down. Oh fuck! I forgot I'm wounded. I forgot I took I took smell damage. Oh no! Okay. And then I will take 2 attacks at him. So 2 attacks. Okay, well 1 definitely misses. And the next is an 18 plus something. Equipment. It's just a D8. Okay. D8. It's a D6. Ooh. 16 damage.
What's your
Sick.
roll to hit?
It was an 18 plus something.
Okay.
18 plus 7. It was 6 fire damage and 10 slashing silvered. If that makes a difference.
It definitely does, and you know it does.
And then
As you slice at him, leaving a long mark in his armor, a small cut at his hip, he speaks again.
Terran won't see it. But you do need to follow up on Luncaster.
And with that, He strikes at you again. With a 9 to hit.
Miss!
After his initial swing, sort of turning in a circle, he swings at you again. A little bit too high, as you're able to just duck underneath. And it is your turn.
Alright, yeah, okay. I'll just take another 2 swings at him. Okay, another miss and a hit.
He deflects the first blow with his sword. And your second one strikes his armor again.
15.
I say this not only because Istavil was my wand. She was bright, talented. His death was no small matter.
And again, he swings. My god. Seemingly frustrated with your speed, he grins, his face growing slightly elongated. You hear a slight growling as his pupils grow yellow. And it's your turn.
Okay, I'll take another 2 swings. Okay, 9 plus 7 is 16,
That
the lowest. Okay, and then a 20.
That hits.
Okay. Oof, 7 plus 6. 13.
Good. More of that. It does not matter if Luncasta was involved in her death, but if she knows something, and if it can help, you need to find her.
I agree.
At this point, Rond picks up speed,
Ooh.
circling you
Oh no.
with 2 jumps. He is on the other side of you. And as you turn around to deflect a blow, instead, you see his sword at his side. Confused for a moment, he headbutts you.
Ah!
You hear an audible crack from your nose as you take 12 bludgeoning damage.
Ah! I'm bloodied.
Terran sent her on an assignment undercover. Means we don't know where she is. But Luncasta is rash at times. Similarly impetuous. She'll have left a trail.
And it's your turn.
Ah! Okay, so a 20 and a nat 20. Or 21 and a nat 20.
The nat 20 hits.
Only the nat
What?
20. What?
Freya!
Sorry. Sorry.
So wait. So a 21 doesn't hit?
Nope.
Damn. Shit. Okay, so a crit. So I just add another d8, right?
You double the dice.
That doesn't include my Crimson Right, right?
I think it does.
Any
Okay.
dice.
Yeah,
are
any.
doubled.
Just the
Cool.
modifier gets applied once. The fixed value. Your dice get doubled.
Wow, thanks, Crimson Raid. Okay, so 13 plus 6, 19?
Okay. Yeah, as you are looking rough, so you see he is starting to look rough as well. And he takes another swing.
Mm.
17.
Ah, that hits.
His torso strikes you square in the side. You take 15 not bludgeoning, slashing damage.
15? What? Oh, damn. I'm low.
If you cannot find it in her room, there must be something in Terran's office. As harsh as he seems, he cares deeply for all of the Order. He will have kept the details in his office locked.
Yes,
It's your turn.
2 swings. Double crits. Bang. Okay. None of those hit.
You
Damn.
swing at his side, and with a quick pirouette, he swings around and deflects your blow, forcing you back further away from him as he stumbles backwards. And then slams his sword into the ground.
Good. Enough of that.
He pushes the tip of his sword into the ground, and leaning on it, he lets himself sink into the grass.
Search, but do so silently. Terran will not stand for it if he catches you. I know what you will do will be right by her.
Thank you, Rond. Also, ow. Did you have to headbutt me?
He smiles.
Alright. Well, I think I would prefer to do that tomorrow.
You can of course always rest here at the hall, but I'm afraid there's not enough room for all of your companions.
We'll go back to Quartermains. There's one other thing I can do that I feel like I should not do here. Little trinket.
His eyes narrow as you say that, but he doesn't mention anything else about that.
I trust. Alright. Shall we head back to Quartermains?
I could always stop by, oh crap, where was it? On the way back,
The ecology?
Yes. We could always stop by the ecology on their way.
I have no objections.
Alright then, let's be off.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Dooba-dooba-doo-doo. Whoa!
Ah!
Ah!
Put
The building is flying away.
I didn't know our headquarters flew. Whoa.
Magical.
Wow.